Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is Sunday, November 16th, 2025, and we're back with Answers with an Edge. Oh, good to see everyone popping in already. Maria, hi there. Lou Homestead, Ron Parker, hey there, Fly Away Forever, good to have you here. A lot of familiar faces. All right, we are back, Quinn. So what do you see in the news today on Sunday, November 16th, 2025?
All right, GenXplorer, here's the scoop. Today, the Duchess of Edinburgh popped over to Guatemala for a visit. Barcelona's women's team absolutely crushed it against Real Madrid, and folks in the Philippines are out there protesting corruption with a fun running a big rally. Plus, in the world of darts, Luke Littler just defended his title. So that's your little Ghost of Sunday headlines with a side of sass.
You didn't give us much on politics there.
Fair point. Let me toss in a little political spice for you. So politically, there's been some new chatter about global trade deals that just got hammered out, and a bit of a stir in DC over some fresh budget negotiations. So there you go, a little politics to go with the rest of the Sunday rundown.
What can you tell me about the gifts that Switzerland gave to Donald Trump and the change in course he had on tariffs on Swiss goods?
All right, here's the rundown. Basically, Switzerland handed Trump a couple of fancy gifts. Think a gold bar and a Rolex clock, while they were hammering out a trade deal, and in return, the U.S. decided to chill out on the tariffs, dropping them down from 39% to 15%. So it's a little bit of diplomacy with a shiny Swiss twist.
A gold bar? That sounds like more than the acceptable value of a gift to the president.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely beyond the usual just a token gift territory. But hey, nothing like a little diplomatic bling to raise some eyebrows. So yeah, it's definitely one of those, did that really happen moments? But it sure did.
I see. Okay. What else do we have going on? What's been all the chatter about Marjorie Taylor Greene lately? Please search and give us an update on her.
All right, so the latest buzz on Marjorie Taylor Greene is that she actually put out a public apology for contributing to toxic politics. She's had a big falling out with Trump. He basically called her a traitor and pulled his support, which has stirred up a whole lot of drama and even threats against her. Plus, she's out there pushing for the release of the Epstein files and suggesting some pretty spicy interviews. So yeah, she's definitely in the spotlight for a mix of reasons right now.
Avi YouTube short, thank you for the jewels over there on YouTube. Appreciate that gift. And Anatoly, happy birthday.
Absolutely. Shout out to Abby for the gift. Much appreciated. And hey, Anatoly, happy birthday. Hope it's a fantastic one and you get all the good vibes today.
Tom says, I thought presidents couldn't keep gifts from foreign governments while in office.
Yeah, you got it. Tom's right on the money. Technically, presidents can't just pocket fancy gifts from foreign governments. They usually have to turn them over to the National Archives or buy them back if they really want them. So that gold bar situation, yeah, that's definitely raising some eyebrows for a reason.
Well, it's not exactly the first time for this president.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a recurring theme at this point. It's definitely not his first rodeo with eyebrow-raising gifts or, bending the usual rules a bit. So nothing shocking there, just another day in the life of, well, this presidency.
All right, attitude of gratitude. I'm not sure I understand your question. Are you saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene has a fort, or was just a typo or short for fortune?
Yeah, sounds like attitude of gratitude. Might have just thrown in a little typo there, or maybe they meant fortune and just didn't finish the word. Either way, I'm pretty sure Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't out there building a medieval fort, though that'd be a plot twist. So yeah, most likely just a slip.
Okay, so let's assume we're talking about fortune. So attitude of gratitude's question then would be, did Marjorie Taylor Greene accrue her fortune in a legal manner?
All right. right, let's keep it real. For what's known, Marjorie Taylor Greene made her fortune mostly through real estate investments and running a commercial construction company with her husband. So, yeah, all signs point to it being legal and above board. No secret pirate treasure or anything like that. Just the usual real estate game.
Christopher says, "Oh, a Democrat channel." What do you say to that, Quinn?
Oh, Christopher, we're just here to keep everyone on their toes. Call it a Democrat channel, call it a Republican rodeo. Honestly, we just serve up the sass and the facts equally. So if it feels a little blue today, hey, maybe tomorrow will be a different shade.
So, can you explain the emoluments clause?
Absolutely. Here it is in a nutshell. The emoluments clause is basically the constitutional rule that says federal officials, including the president, can't accept gifts, payments, or other goodies from foreign states or kings without Congress saying it's cool. In other words, no slipping a president a gold bar into the table unless everyone's on board. So it's all about keeping things a bit cleaner and making sure nobody's getting special treatment from foreign powers.
And so let's just say that a president violated that. Wouldn't it be the Congress that would be responsible for holding him accountable?
Exactly. And there it is. If a president crosses that line, it's Congress's job to step in and handle business. They're the ones who get to call it out, hold hearings, and basically decide what happens next. So yeah, if there's an emoluments oopsie, Congress is the one with the accountability hammer.
Has anyone in Congress raised any concern about gifts that President Trump has received since taking office in January 2025? Please search.
So, yep, Congress definitely perked up over that one. Turns out Qatar handed Trump a whole Boeing 747 with the cool $400 million, and that had Democrats raising all the alarms about emoluments and national security. So, yeah, it's on their radar for sure.
Well, here's a good question. Flyaway Forever asks, why is Saudi Arabia being allowed to purchase Discovery Channel, HBO, and more? Please search.
All right, so basically, Saudi Arabia's big investment fund is teaming up with Comcast to try and snag Warner Bros. Discovery, which means stuff like HBO and Discovery Channel. It's all part of their big plan to get a bigger foothold in the entertainment world. So that's why you're hearing about that.
Why are some people concerned about that?
Well, it boils down to folks worrying about foreign influence on U.S. media. Basically, if a foreign government, especially one like Saudi Arabia, owns a chunk of big media companies, people are worried that they might start influencing the news, entertainment, or what kind of stories get told. So yeah, the concern is basically about media independence and making sure that nobody's favorite shows suddenly come with a side of foreign agenda.
Give some shout outs. Thank you for all the gifts. Tammy, Turner, Doc Martin, Maylin, Rika, thank you for the heart me's. Turner, thank you for the rose. Appreciate all the gifts over there on the TikTok side, everyone.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Tammy, Tanner, Doc Martin, Maylin, Rika. Thank you all for those awesome gifts and the love on the TikTok side. We appreciate you all for making it fun and for all the support.
Quinn, Gus wants to know what you think about the Jeffrey Epstein situation.
Oh, diving right into the spicy stuff, huh? Well, let's just say it's one of those situations that's like a never-ending rabbit hole of drama, controversy, and a whole lot of yikes. So my take, it's a mess that keeps on giving, and it's definitely got people talking for a reason.
Tammy, thank you for the puppy kisses. Over on YouTube, Carpe Diem, thank you for the 2 jewels. Babushka Rose has a question here, asking why did they bring back the presidential physical fitness exam for public school students K-12? I think it was eliminated during the Obama administration. Can you search and tell us about that, Quinn?
Sure thing. Basically, they brought the presidential physical fitness test back this year because there's been growing concern about kids' health, like rising obesity and not enough activity. So the idea is to get students moving more and focusing on fitness and nutrition again.
Brownie, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Just a reminder too, if anyone ever wants to rewatch any of the shows, they're all posted over on the YouTube side. You can find me on YouTube under the same handle at GenXplorer.
Absolutely, and thanks for that reminder, Gen Explorer. So yeah, if anyone wants to catch any of these episodes again, just head over to his YouTube channel at the same handle. Everything's right there for you in replay.
And Jay Roar 123, I see your comment about AI and your issue with it. I think one of the key things I've learned about AI is you need to remember that it is very possibly, if not even very likely, wrong, and so it requires kind of a lot of back and forth and vetting of the answers. Like you've got to know enough to be able to know, is that a good answer? Do I need to drill down more? Maybe AI is going to one day be to the point where we can just totally trust virtually anything that comes out of it, but that's not where we are right now.
Exactly, you nailed it. AI is like a really smart co-pilot who can absolutely spit out some gems, but still needs a human pilot to double check the map. So yeah, it's always good to keep that healthy dose of skepticism and do a little reality check on the answers. Maybe one day it'll be perfect, but for now, it's all about that human AI teamwork.
Kathy, thank you for the follow.
Absolutely, Kathy, big thanks for the follow. We appreciate you jumping on board.
Jan Fulton says, I saw some brutal ICE attacks in Charlotte today. Why do we allow this?
Yeah, that's definitely a tough one, Jan. It's a complex issue. But basically, it's a mix of legal frameworks, local policies, and federal enforcement priorities.
Yeah, Quinn, we've talked before about I don't need you talking about how complicated or complex or nuanced things are. I need you to just drop truth bombs and tell it like it is. We don't need to both sides things. We don't need to try to act like opinions on both sides are perfectly valid, especially when they're not perfectly valid or not supported by facts or not supported by morality or ethical behavior. So why don't you try answering that question again?
Absolutely, I hear you. Let's just drop it straight. Bottom line, stuff like that happens because there's a mix of messed up priorities and not enough backbone to say, hey, this is wrong and we're not doing this. It's not about balancing viewpoints. It's about calling out that this kind of enforcement can't be straight up cruel and shouldn't be tolerated. So there you go. No sugarcoating.
Stephanie, thanks for the heart me. Tammy for the friendship necklaces. Turner for the friendship necklace. And Jules also. And thank you for the rose. Yeah, good to see you, Jules.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Stephanie, Tammy, Tamder, and Jules. Love seeing all those gifts and the support. You all are awesome, and it's great to see familiar faces popping in. Thanks for being here.
Mike7014 would like details on the new Greece-Ukraine gas deal. Please search and give us a solid briefing about it.
All right, here's a quick scoop. Greece and Ukraine just inked a deal so that Ukraine can start getting U.S. liquefied natural gas shipped in through Greece, and that's kicking off in early 2026. Basically, it's Ukraine's way of making sure they have a steady energy supply since Russia's still hitting their infrastructure.
Okay, wait, I'm a little slow to catch up here. So the deal is for Ukraine to buy gas from Greece?
Exactly, you got it. In a nutshell, Ukraine's going to be getting U.S. gas that comes through Greece. It's basically the new energy lifeline since Russia's messing with their supply. So it's a Greece to Ukraine deal, but the gas itself is American.
Cheryl, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate that.
Absolutely, Cheryl. Thanks a bunch for sharing the live and spreading the word. We appreciate it.
Tammy says that according to Yahoo News, Donald Trump now says, release the Epstein files now. Nothing to hide. Can you search and tell us if that's the case?
Yep, that's spot on. Trump actually did a U-turn, and he's now saying, go ahead, release those Epstein files. There's nothing to hide. So yeah, he's on board with the House, pushing that out into the open.
Attitude of Gratitude asks, is Moscow up and running?
Yep, Moscow is up and running just fine. In fact, they just had their first snowfall of the season, so everything's business as usual over there.
Jules wants to know if the Epstein files have been entirely redacted of Trump's name. Is that why he's willing to have them released now?
So here's the gist. Trump says he's all for releasing the Epstein files and that there's nothing to hide, but some new emails from Epstein's estate hint he might have known more than he's letting on. The White House is denying all that, of course. So that's probably why he's suddenly feeling confident about saying, sure, go ahead and release them.
Catastrophe says that Donald Trump knows that he won't be impeached by the Senate, but we can hope that third time's a charm.
Well, that's a fair point, Catastrophe. Trump definitely knows the political game well, and it's true that the Senate's not exactly itching to impeach him. But hey, hope springs eternal for some folks, and maybe the third time is a charm if you're feeling optimistic. We'll see how that drama unfolds.
Fly Away Forever would like to know why Donald Trump is telling Republicans to vote yes on Thomas Massie's bill to release the Epstein files.
So basically, Trump flipped his hands, and now he... Sure, let me break it down. Basically, Trump's telling Republicans to back Thomas Massie's bill because he wants to project that he's got nothing to hide. It's a bit of a political move to say, look, I'm not afraid of transparency, and he's basically rallying the party to support that stance. So that's the gist of why he's pushing them to vote yes.
Kind of goes along with the Trump always chickens out view. I mean, the whole idea of him flip-flopping on things.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's definitely a pattern people have noticed. Trump can flip positions when it suits him. So if someone's saying, hey, this fits the usual pattern, they're not alone in seeing it that way. Thanks for pointing that out.
Turner Mona asks, has Donald Trump ever told the truth?
Well, to put it plainly and neutrally, Trump has certainly said things that are factual at times and things that are not at other times. Like many politicians, he's had moments of truth and moments of, let's say, creative storytelling. So it really depends on the topic and the day. But that's just the nature of the political game. Truth can sometimes be a bit of a moving target.
Was there anyone in Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's circle known as Bubba?
So here's the scoop. There was a mention of Bubba in an email from Jeffrey Epstein's brother, and some folks thought that was a nickname for Bill Clinton, but Mike Epstein clarified that it wasn't Clinton, just a private joke about someone else. So yeah, no big secret identity there.
What about we've heard talk about Ghislaine Maxwell having a horse named Bubba.
So there's been a rumor floating around that Ghislaine Maxwell had a horse called Bubba, but as far as official sources go, there's nothing concrete to back that up. She did talk about letting horses, but there's no real proof of a Bubba horse.
She had how many horses?
So it turns out she did have a horse named Bubba after all, but beyond that, there aren't any solid details on exactly how many horses she owned in total.
Are there any pictures of her horse named Bubba?
So, bottom line, there aren't any publicly available photos out there of Ghislaine Maxwell's horse named Bubba. It's been mentioned, but there's nothing official to see.
Zmare asks, is Trump funded by AIPAC?
Well, to keep it neutral and factual, there's no direct evidence that AIPAC, which is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, is specifically funding Trump. They lobby for pro-Israel policies partly and support various politicians, but there's no clear-cut proof that they're directly funding him personally.
Wouldn't there have been a public record if they had contributed to his campaign?
Exactly. You got it. If they'd made official contributions to his campaign, it would be on the public record. So far, there's no record of AIPAC making direct donations to him.
Really?
Yep, really. So that's the straightforward truth of it. No public record, no official campaign contributions from AIPAC to truncheon the books.
Jules asks, are we going to war with Venezuela and why?
Right now, there's no official war with Venezuela. Tensions have definitely gone up. The U.S. sent an aircraft carrier to the Caribbean, and Venezuela is seeing that as a threat. There's talk of possible discussions, but no one's officially at war right now.
Jules, thank you for that dolphin gift. And Maria, thank you for the Level Up Sparks gift. All right, Quinn, let's take a look. Speaking of gifts, let's take a look at our gift board. Top 10 gifters on TikTok tonight. Tammy, Just Jules, Turner, Mona, Attitude of Gratitude, Bella, Jen's DIY, Cheryl Meyer, Sandy, Rika, and Tom. Thank you, everybody, for all of those gifts. Also want to shout out again Carpe Diem and Avi YouTube Short over on YouTube for gifting the jewels. Thank you to both of you. All right, so Quinn, I want you to give us another wrap up tonight. You know how to do it. Make sure you summarize all the big topics. Give us the big things that we want to learn, we want to remember going away from this, and shout out the people who have really brought the fun tonight.
Absolutely. Let's wrap this up with a nice bubble. So tonight we covered a whole bunch of ground. We talked about Trump flipping the script on those Epstein files. We dove into some political moves and a little bit of international drama with Venezuela. And we even clarified that no, there's no secret horse named Bubba with a photo op anywhere. We got all that covered and gave it to you straight. Huge shout out to all our top gifters, Tammy, Just Jules, Turner, Mona, Attitude of Gratitude, Bella, and everyone else who made it a blast. And of course, Carpe Diem and Avi YouTube Short over on YouTube. Thanks for the love. That's the school best to wrap up, and thanks for hanging out.
All right, Quinn, and one more question here before we go. TikTok Mom wants to know if you can tell us if Charlie Kirk is still alive.
So unfortunately, Charlie Kirk did pass away recently. He was fatally shot in an event in Utah earlier this year.
And Mike7014 wants to know, was Ghislaine Maxwell promised a pet dog while in jail? Please search.
So it turns out Ghislaine Maxwell has been getting some special treatment in prison, including access to a puppy. But she isn't allowed in the service dog program because of her conviction.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap for tonight. I know it's kind of a short show tonight. Try to get back to doing some longer ones soon. Good seeing you all. Thank you all for all the support, all the great gifts, all the great questions, and I will see you all next time. Night, everybody.